Oh, y'all. First of all, it's your girl Kiwan, and I am back with another episode of Moesha. I feel played. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all why I feel a whole lot played. Because I'm sitting here talking, giving y'all my best work. Okay, and I thought I hit the record button, but I guess I did not. Okay, I mean I was giving y'all my whole rundown on what I'm gonna do this week, giving y'all some of this episode of Moesha. Okay, didn't even press record. Okay. So anyway, let's Moesha season 2 episode 8. Ichi ni saying she look Clarkzilla. Okay, for the umpteenth time, I don't know who came up with this title of this episode, but okay. All right. Second, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video that I drop. And make sure y'all liking the videos so I can stay in the algorithm and things like that. Helps me out so much. Also, I really want to thank my new subscribers that have come along. Welcome. And as I always state, I really hope y'all like my content. I try my hardest to push out good content. So yeah, let me know what y'all think. Anyway, today you guys are gonna get 2 episodes of Moesha and last week's episode of Never Ever Met. And then I guess as the days go on, I'll give y'all what's coming up. So tomorrow, I know I'm supposed to give y'all Next Gen NYC today, but I can't because I'm under time constraints and I have to get up for work in the morning. So Next Gen NYC tomorrow, as well as Real Housewives of Miami season premiere. I think it's season 7 premiere. My nose itch. And Somebody's Son episode from last week. Tomorrow I would give y'all what's coming the following day. Okay. Anyway, Moesha. So Moesha's narrating. Apparently, Q wants to talk to her. He left her a message stating she wanted to talk. So I guess she's thinking, okay, Q want to do right. He want to act right. Child, please. So the episode starts with Dee getting ready for an art show, and it's for charity. In the kitchen, they smell something burning. They run in the kitchen to see Hakeem greedy breaking these people toaster because he done put cheese on top of the bread and put it in the toaster. And then he gonna say, well, nobody taught me. I don't really know how to do that. But if you didn't know how to do it, why you doing it? Okay. So Miles is bothering Dee for asking her if his friend can come spend a night at his house. Dee was like, "La boy, you done put this on my pillow. La boy, you done wrote it on my bathroom mirror with my lipstick. I ought to pop you in the throat." Okay, she didn't say that. Okay, but I'm saying that. Okay, get out of my face. That's what she wanted to say, but we didn't. So, of course, y'all know I got to go ahead and say it. 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, I lied, Mark. I just want to go to Arizona. Okay, my bad. So, Black Top gets a phone call from his sister Carolyn asking if Clark had already arrived. Now, Flat Top is thrown off because he had no idea that his nephew Clark was arriving. So then he found out that Dee was the one that invited Clark over. Okay? But she never talked to Flat Top. And so they was like, why would you do that? And Dee was like, well, that's your nephew, so I thought it'd be okay. Y'all know Dee, she be trying. But, sometimes, So this one of these situations that should have been a So Clark is played by Sean Harrison, a.k.a. Waldo Faldo Geraldo. Okay? If you don't know who it is, Family Matters. Okay? Edit friend. Waldo. Sup. Okay, let me tell y'all, he is on Instagram. I follow him on Instagram, and he have shirts that say "What's up." It says "Sup," and with a question mark. I want to say, and it's Waldo's picture, his picture on there. But he is funny. Okay, you can tell like he's super intelligent, but he is hilarious with his intelligence. So that's why I follow him. Anyway, so we get to the den. Q arrived to have this conversation, this big conversation with Moesha. His tacky ass asked her to work the door at the Bombay because he having a show. So Moesha was like, boy, ask your mama to work the door at the Bombay because I ain't doing nothing much fucking thing. All right? She didn't say that, but I feel like she should have said that. Okay? Because don't play my girl like that. Okay, so Moesha was like, so this ain't no conversation about commitment. Q was like, who said that? He didn't say that, but he said that. He was like, why we talking about that? I was like, sneak. Q want to do what he wants to do. Okay, unless it benefits him. And we about to find out how much this benefits, the commitment benefits him. Okay, so Flat Top took Clark arrived, right? So Flat Top took him to work. So Flat Top comes in the door with a bandage on his head. Well, as he was test driving his Saturn, there was a bee that came in a car. Well, Clark is allergic to bees. So as he trying to swat the bee, he hit Frank. Frank hit a wall and hit his head on, I want to say, maybe the steering wheel or something. And that was why he had the bandage on his head. From my understanding, Clark is a bit accident prone, and he's one of those people that has no filter. Like, he just say whatever, no filter. Okay? So that's who he is. I don't know the name of that. It is not Tourette's, y'all. It's really not. But he's just a person who don't read the room. He doesn't read the room. I think that's what I'm looking for. He doesn't read the room well. So Clark walks in the kitchen because Niecy, Kim, and Moesha came back to her house. They were in the kitchen talking about Q. And of course, she's like, well, I don't want to see him no more. She don't mean it, but she's mad because he doesn't want to commit and he wants her to work the door. But Niecy and Kim is telling her, girl, if you want your man, you got to be all up in his face, all up in his skin. And Kim, shut up. So Moesha was like, I'm not doing all that. I'm not finna work no door for nobody. Like, you better go ask your mama to work the door for you. Okay? I wasn't really mad at Moesha because, again, Q in this episode wanted would benefit Q. So Clark enters, I think I said that Clark enters the kitchen and Niecy was like, ooh, he cute, introduce me to your cousin. So Moesha introduced Clark. She was like, Clark, this is Niecy. Niecy, this is Clark. Clark said, what kind of name is Niecy? Like, he didn't mean no harm, but it's just don't read the room. I don't know. He just says things, okay? So, he goes into the living room to help Frank because Dee asked Clark and Frank to help her move the sofa. So Frank was like, no. And the reason why, I'm sorry, I did call him Frank. Flat Top said no was because Clark is accidental prone. And so they're in the living room trying to move the couch. Guess what? The couch fall on Frank's foot. So now he limping. Not only do we have a bandage on his head, but now he limping. So now we got to get Frank upstairs. So Dee helped Frank get upstairs. Doorbell ring. It's Q. So I guess Q maybe had a change of heart. I don't know. So Clark answers the door. It was like, can I help you? And Q was like, Yeah, what's up, Moesha here? Like, he just so damn rude. And he try to act like you don't understand why Flat Top don't like your ex. Because you have no etiquette. Zero etiquette. Like, you come to the door talking about what's up. You rude as fuck. Okay? And so Clark tells him, Moesha said she don't want to see you anymore. He was like, how you know that? And so he said, I heard it with my own ears. She in the kitchen. She was in there. She said, she don't want to see you. He said he smoothed it out. He gave him the PG version because he didn't want to give him the R-rated version. So Q feelings act like it was so hurt. Of course, he was like, yeah, all right. Like, being really dismissive at this point. So he leave. So Clark comes back in the house. Moesha goes into the living room and asks who was that at the door. And said Clark was like, it was cute, but I handled that for you. I told him you ain't won't see him no more. So she was like, man, why'd you do that? He said, because you said that in the kitchen. She said, I wasn't saying that to you. I was saying that to my girls. And so he was like, oh, I thought I was helping out. So he was like, man, you always messing up stuff. That's why nobody don't want to be around you. Moesha, it is not that deep. You trying to run at this point. You are literally running after Q, but just not looking like Niecy and Kim. But at the same time, you are. You running after Q. He done told you he wanted to see other people. Let Q see other people. No, you want to make him jealous. You want to give him a hard time. Yeah, I know you like him, but girl, you have to move forward. Okay? So she tells Clark, I did say that. That's why nobody wants him to be around. And I just felt like that was really hurtful. Like, whatever. So Raul, y'all know Raul, the chauvinist, he worked with Frank. His ugly ass worked for Frank. We at the art collection at this point. The art collection was at the house. And so he said, I know a woman didn't draw this. All the great artists are men. And the only thing a woman is good for is painting her face. First of all, the way Raul need to be clipped, y'all know how y'all walk behind somebody and you clip them with your feet? And that's what Raul need. Okay, because he ain't married. And it is no wonder why his raggedy ass ain't married. Okay? So, Miles and his friend... Okay, so no. D asked Miles and his friend Sammy to watch Clark and go to bed. Because they had on pajamas downstairs at the art gallery. But... this is the second time y'all done had a big to-do at the house. And y'all got little Miles and his big ass ears upstairs in pajamas talking about go to bed. How can he go to bed with everything that's going on downstairs? Like, y'all gotta make that make sense for me. Okay? So, he told him, D was like, I'll pay y'all. And so Miles was like $10 an hour. D was like, okay, whatever. So then she go to Clark and say, Clark, can you watch the boys for me? Can you take them upstairs and keep an eye on them for me? So Clark was like, I do it, but it's going to cost you $10 an hour. So they was like, bet. Okay, y'all, of course. So Miles, Sammy, and Clark, they're upstairs playing a game. Clark is winning. And so Miles was like, I want to play the game against my friend, but you keep on winning. So Clark was like, I want fair and square. Was like, this is childish. I want fair and square. So you're going to have to give up the remote and give it to your friend so I can beat him. So in turn, Miles and Sammy jumped Clark. They was beating the hell out of him. I said, my Lord. So we get downstairs. All they hear is, help, help. So Frank was like, D was like, can you go upstairs and check on them? Frank was like, hell no. And D went up there to find them beating the hell out of Clark. Okay? So then Clark and D comes out of the room. She takes Clark into Moesha's room and was like, take Clark with you. And Moesha was like, man, no. So of course she takes Clark with him to the Bombay. And so when they get there, she tells Clark, listen, you gonna have to gosh darn it, golly goose, chill the fuck out with that, okay? Chill out. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna have a good little time. So Moesha saw Q. Of course, he got a little attitude, okay? And so she was like, well, why did you stop by my house? And of course, he acting real tough and childish. He was like, well, it ain't gonna happen again. And so I was like, Q, please, you act like you the damn prize. Like, let me say, y'all would be pissing me off about Q, okay? Because Q acts like he is the damn prize, okay? I guess that's how he get the women. He don't commit to them, so I guess he figured he's gonna do the same thing to Moesha. He just gonna be with her without a commitment, and he gonna come and go when he please. Moesha don't really roll like that. All right. So the performances are, the people are performing on the stage. One dude got booed off the stage, so they was like, boo, get off the stage. So the next act get up. They are rappers, but they are also real life gangsters. So Clark don't like the music, all right, because that's not his stilo. So he's like, boo, get off the stage, booing them. So the dudes come down, but Hakeem was like, you don't have to chill out with all that, because this ain't that, okay? This ain't that. This ain't Showtime at the damn Apollo. You can't be doing that, okay? So Clark disregard whatever Hakeem says. And so the rappers come down and they, step up to Clark, and Moesha step in front of Clark and was like, y'all gonna leave my cousin alone? And they was like, what you say? She was like, can y'all please leave my cousin alone? And so Q steps in and he stops the fight. And so they was like, this clown? He was like, no, but my girl does. Okay, he'll go to the claiming. And that, okay, so I thought it was this episode that actually benefited him, but it's the next episode. Okay, so and he was like, listen, y'all gonna have to chill out with all of that, blah blah blah. They squashed it. Clark was touched by an angel. Okay, shout out to the movie. Shout out to what's her name? Natina, the one that died. The one that expired from Black. Okay, that was on Bring It On. Okay, so so they walked to each other's house. Q walked them home, and Moesha asked Q, well, where are we? And he tells Moesha, he was like, I'm not, where I stand with commitment. And so she was like, well, I don't know how many girlfriends you had. I don't know, what type of girlfriends you had to deal with, but I'm not that type of girl. So Q tells her that he never had a girlfriend. So that's the whole problem. He ain't never had a girlfriend, never really had to commit. So I guess committing to Moesha was way more than he expected. But once again, you let him do whatever he gonna do. You just have to do it without him. So now Moesha writes, as we outro out, she writes in her diary that now she understands Q. And that's where the episode ended. Okay. This almost stressed me out. I'm just telling y'all. This right here almost stressed me out. Okay. Anyway, on your way out, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch y'all in the next video. Okay. Oof.